Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science and Technology. In today's show, Camera Tuesday, we're going to talk about Canon EOS C50. So let's dive deep into it. So basically, this camera is also firing a missile at Sony FX3. I had no idea how successful FX3 was, but damn, it was so successful that everybody is creating basically a replacement for it. So this is 3 lakh rupees camera or $4,000 body. So not super expensive, but not super cheap. Basically, compared to Nikon offering, it is expensive, but not that expensive, so to say. And the new part is this new sensor. It's not like reskinned camera body. It's a completely new sensor, which puppy can handle 32 megapixel photos and 7K video output. So that is there. And the biggest selling point is that this can do 7K 60 FPS or 4K 120 uncropped. Like, damn. And it also supports open gate raw, and open gates have become far more desirable. I'll explain further why it's far more desirable nowadays, but it has become far more desirable even for content creators. So that is there. And it also has a raw dual pixel autofocus, as in like Canon's autofocus was just a little bit behind Sony's, so refinement in that. And this is a cinema body. That's the whole point of it. Is the core logic has not changed that much. The SoC sensor may be new, but it's not like whoa. But it's the more thing is about making it far more cinema friendly, as in having mounting holes, having large enough grip, having cooling and all that jazz. So this is Canon C50, C meaning cinema series. So this cinema body, the biggest advantage that you have is that it has air cooling. Now, does that matter? Yes. In India, again, I can understand if you're not in India, but India is hot. If I'm to use this camera outdoor, even in like balcony and all that, especially in daytime, they will overheat very quickly. So in those sort of scenarios, having a fan is compulsory. And again, every cinema camera has fan for this exact reason. So cooling does allow it to work long session. And this is actually built to handle long session, as in you're like, okay, assume you have USB-C power, cool, awesome. Assume you have relay recording, as in you can plug one card in, pull one card out, and it will write on the empty card. You can keep doing it. We call it relay recording, meaning you can capture whole cricket session if you want to, whole puja session, whole wedding if you want the whole damn wedding. You can do that. But again, no camera can do that unless it's a video camera with cooling. This has cooling, so it can endure hours of runtime. So that is there. It does not have IBUS. Now, many people do not like this idea, but you have to understand there are two types of people. First, people who rig up their camera, they do not like IBUS. Why? Well, have you ever noticed that there is not a single cinema camera that has IBUS? Simply because camera is naked and you're supposed to put cloth on it, as in if you put stuff into it, like monitor, big ass lens, big ass battery, you put all of that, it becomes heavy. So camera operator, even if they try to shake it, just by the inertia of that mass, it becomes stabilized. So you will always find like big beefy cameras, they have an inherent stability to it, and it's organic stability. You do not want to tamper with that. So that's there. And if you want really stable, you will have glide cams or gimbal. In those sort of scenario, having a IBUS backfires, because your camera body, gimbal can only move the camera body, but what if the sensor inside it moves? That creates a paradox, especially like if you're trying to mount it to car body. You mount it, you want the car body to not shake relative to basically sensor. Video frame should not shake compared to the camera, compared to the car body. Only the person inside should move, because again, car body is not changing. That cannot be done if you have IBUS. So that's why a lot of people do not like it, like especially people who are doing rigs and gimbal separate. But people who are just buying this camera, putting a lens and doing a vlogging sort of setup or content creator, they will hate it. So let that be very clear. Now, why don't we have a middle ground for this? Simply because nobody has figured out how to make a latching IBUS, as in you have IBUS, you latch it. You have IBUS, you latch it. Once somebody figures out how to physically latch it, as in like the easiest way to figure it out, remove the battery, shake the camera, it sounds cutter, 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 that's IBUS moving around. That's what people don't want. So far, again, I am pretty sure it can be built, it's just that nobody has built it yet. So no IBUS. Is that good or bad? Again, depending on your use case. If you are gimbal free guy, if you are rig free guy, yes, it will hurt you. If in those sort of scenario, expect to buy a like a bigger lens with image stabilization, then only you will have some resemblance of stable video quality. So let's look at it based on use case. Some people awesome, other people are like, dude, this does not suit me. dedicated time code input. Now this is a very critical aspect, because now we are configuring audio code through analog audio channel. People think that that's all it takes. No, you cannot even get a Netflix camera approval list. There's only most cameras are cinema camera. Why? Because of that port, time code port, this jack, so to say. Why? When you store time code on audio, it's just a metadata that is sloppy. Time code itself is sloppy, and then you have metadata layers, because again, time code is poor people's system. What you want is genlock. Genlock means you can sync 1020 camera and each of their frame is running on the same time. Like if you have seen the movie 300, they had like a 2 camera setup, basically one wide angle, one telephoto, and a beam splitter. So everything was synced. Here's the deal. How the heck they sync the frame? Because they were using genlock. All cinema cameras have genlock. Frame 1, go. Frame 2, go. Time code is like you just have a clock that is screaming. It's like it's a 15 frame, 16 frame. It would drift. Although not an issue if you have single camera, but it is an issue if you are doing broadcasting or you want to do some sort of 3D effect, VFX effect, 360 degree. Yeah, you cannot do those things without genlock. So having a dedicated port allows you to have metadata layer control. Ideally it would be genlock, but if you do not have genlock, what is the next best thing? Time code data layer. What is the benefit? Meaning you can drop it into Premiere and Premiere will like, I got this, rather than like, okay, let's first open it in a dedicated software, Tentacle Sync software or DaVinci Resolve, and then you bake the audio into actual time code metadata, which is very sloppy. This is like, I got this. So it's a desirable thing for video people. It is shut up, take money. Dual card slots. Again, it has a rich card slot and poor card slot. So you have rich card slot, which is CFast Express Type B, and poor card slot that is basically UHS 2. And it does support almost all options, as in relay recording, dump one, remove one, dump one, remove one. Redundant recording, same thing on both, if both can support it. And proxy recording, as in you can record your raw file into your big rich card, and cheap card can have proxy. So it can be done. Now let that be clear, it does have a lot of wiggle room with UHS 2 depending on the format. So please read the manual if you want to understand what you want to do. Can it be supported by that or not? And mounting holes all around the body. This is the critical part. Sony, somebody was smart in Sony. They're like, dude, people don't want like this or that. They just want a body that is useful. That's why they put cooling fans and bolt holes everywhere. I was not sure, like what's the point? And looking into the rig buildings is like, yep, I get it why they have holes everywhere. Why they have holes on the back, holes on the top, holes on the side, holes on everywhere. Basically, you just want mounting holes on the body itself. And dedicated XLR system. Now this is a bit underwhelming simply because now everybody has 32-bit. It's a bit underwhelming, but again, better than nothing. Flat out better than nothing. And that is there. And if you're like, okay, why XLR is 3 pins? Simply because it has balanced output, meaning one is positive voltage, one is negative voltage. So interference becomes a very easy to cancel out signal once you combine the signal. So it does require 2 data rails, 1 ground rail. So that's why those things generally have 3 wires, even though the audio track is mono. So dedicated system is there, and USB-C power for endurance. Again, this means if you plug it USB-C power, it can survive it because of the cooling fan, meaning you can actually record the whole thing. So that's the good part. Although I don't think you can relay record Cinema Raw, because again, that can only go into one card format. So that is there. They can't do USB-C recording. That's like only Panasonic is the good guy that does that. Every other company is like, nah, we can't make people's life easier. So what about performance? Well, performance is new sensor, but old SoC. That is the most convoluted part. And again, it does reinforce my belief that sensors are cheap, is the SoC that is goddamn expensive now. Because again, Digix X is the latest one, which is the highest end they have. So why the heck they did not give it in latest camera? It's like, pretty sure the SoC was too expensive. So that's it. Now what about dynamic range? Again, reasonably good, 15 stops. Now, does that mean 15 stops? It's good. Okay, now we have like mobile phone claiming 15 stop, you have action camera claiming 15 stop. It does not mean that much, but again, a camera, good camera, nowadays you do not have to worry too much about it. Unless your settings are messed up or the camera hardware is defective, you don't have to worry about it. Like you got this. Good readout speed, that is bit mild. It's only 18 millisecond at worst case scenario, and then it only drops from that. So the lowest I think you can go is at crop readout is 7 millisecond. Worst is 18. Now is that good? Most people say if you're below 20 millisecond, you can just use it. Cinema setup and all that. If you are really doing hard action, people will say go below 10. If you're like really going bonkers with VFX and all that, just buy a global shutter. Sony has global shutter. Red has global shutter. I have not seen anyone else right now that I can just think from my head that has global shutter. So, and that's there. Dual menus they have. Basically, you have menu for stills and videography. But again, it will create an issue if you're coming from Canon's hybrid camera to this camera. You'll be like, stills, you will be easy. Like, I got this. This is what they are talking about. The moment you go to video, it's like completely different. It would be similar way if they're coming from C series camera. So that is it. Although this is why I say the camera companies never evolved from 1980s. It has nice user interface. What is the nice user interface? It rotates when you rotate the camera. They are so proud of it. I'm like, have you seen 2008? When Apple came out, they had the ability to rotate the keyboard. They knew that people could have landscape. Like, we knew about this decades ago. Like, that's like, look into their web pages. Like, UIs rotate. I'm like, oh. Even this camera has the setting where it rotates the video file. So it means it has a sensor for basically which direction is the gravity. They just did not even think about it. Like, what if you have to rotate the UI so you can read the damn thing? And they're like, whoa, look at us, user interface. I'm like, it does have, thankfully, because it has full gate readout. It can do anamorphic lens support. What does that mean? That simply means you have physical glass block. It squeezes the video. Now, like, can you do that with every camera? Yes, you can do with every camera, but every camera does not allow you to capture the whole scene. And if you have the whole sensor, you do not want to contort the lens too much. It gives you more what you call decompression, so to say. It's desirable. You want to do anamorphic only with an open gate. Again, you will have a bit more, leg room, so to say, for lack of a better term. So having that, and again, most of the time when they say it supports anamorphic, it simply means it has on basically on the display, back of the display, you can de-squeeze the image, or the video file would be de-squeezed. It's a post step, not the hardware, because nothing will stop you. Like, even in my Canon 800D, I can just put a lens that has that squeezing. It will work. It's just that video file will not be de-squeezed. So whenever somebody says anamorphic lens support, it's software support, not the hardware. And again, in the software, it's just like, okay, we're gonna like basically de-squeeze it. We assume that you want to do this. Electronic image stabilization that this has is very meh, and I'm pretty sure it's meh because the SoC is meh, as in like old. So you should let that be very clear. If you are just a guy and you're not having a giant setup, get a lens that has I'm pretty sure, keep forgetting what lens IS, image stabilization. Again, every brand has different name. I think Sony calls it vibration compensation. So you have lens IS, you must have that. Electronic IS is not that good, like not that good. So that is there. And you have 4K 30 open gate raw. But it's like, wait a minute, the first line on the Canon's website says 7K 60. Yeah, the moment you go 7K 60 open gate, you will lose raw. You have to let go of one of them, like a full sensor readout or raw. You can't have both of them. So if you want full, like the maximum, like this is the most optimum use case, as in you have 7K 30 FPS and you are doing a scene. Now you can have the luxury that you can little bit of vertical room and horizontal video recording. You can have a lot of framing flexibility. So people who want to do content publishing directly, they directly want to, like, okay, I set it up for basically YouTube delivery. They have little bit of a vertical wiggle room, and if they're like, okay, now I want to do delivery in TikTok, they can move it, or Instagram, they can move it like this. So for a lot of people, this is like shut up, take money. That's why open gate is now far more desirable than it used to be. It's not only about anamorphic lens. It's like, this horizontal and vertical footage delivery, and it will have different content. So people who are watching it, and if somebody watched in both of you, they're like, oh, I did not see this cloud, I did not see this. Like, it's a good enhancement, like it's a good add-on to have. So a lot of people like that idea for delivery. Now, like, okay, what if I want 60 FPS? You can do that. It's just like you have to let go of raw. Does that matter? Depending on your endpoint. Unless you have too much color correction requirement, 10-bit colors are good. Like, you're gonna be fine. Like, you good, you got this. You do not need 12-bit. Especially if your delivery is social media, it will compress and contort the hell out of it, so it does not matter too much. Now, of course, if you want to do Netflix delivery or things of that nature, then you want, or like it's a cinema system or passion project, go YOLO on raw. But let that be very clear. 8-bit to 10-bit is a big jump. 10-bit to 12-bit is not that big. It's there, but unless you are doing contorting in the colors, you will not notice it. So you have that limitation. I'm pretty sure if they had upgraded the SoC, they could have done like 7K open gate 60 FPS raw. So right now it's not. Although they have made a good compromise where they can do 4K 120 FPS full frame. That is a good thing. So a lot of people who want to do basically music videos and all that, they're gonna have fun with that. So that is there. So question becomes for whom this is. Well, right now we are in good spot in the market. Right now both Nikon and Canon has released some good stuff. Nikon one, it's low cost. Like you cannot just this camera simply because the price is too free, close to free. It's like 1,86,000, like $2,000, like a bit more than $2,000. It's not expensive. Comparatively speaking. So at this sort of price point, there is no camera that I can recommend that can give you raw. And given the fact that it gives you red raw, and again, let that be very clear, the red raw and N raw is not that big of a difference. SoC is the same, sensor is the same. The point is red raw is a well supported format, meaning all your editing software is like, I got this, fam. If you put it N raw, it's like, what is this format? And again, so like a rendition, the rendering engine, they can handle red, not because it's better, simply because they know how to handle it. That cooking period, it's been done, like they cooked it, it's done. That's why Nikon just bought it. It's like, I need that file format. And again, I'm pretty sure Canon also has some sort of patent agreement. It makes sense simply because Red started to use electronic mounted EF lens mount and RF lens mount, which is like, Canon has to give approval for that. So I think that was the love making they had, where it's like, you take my lens mount, I take your raw patent. Not take as in like, I will also do raw. So right now you can buy this simply because it has such a low cost, like there is no comparison. It has raw, it has 32-bit audio, meaning if you are just a vlogging kind of guy, you can have an analog mic and this will give you like, I got this, fam. Don't worry about it, I got this. Like that's for many people, is shut up, take money. The biggest advantage, big screen. Now look at, it's a screen. Nah, it's a big screen. How big of a screen? Compare that to most camera. Most camera has plastic size that is smaller than the screen. That is big. Like compared to everything else, is like huge. And this is the biggest quality of life improvement you're gonna have. Like the moment you turn, it will like, whoa. Like quality of life improvement. And it also has IBUS. So for more than enough people, this camera body is like, buy it and just worry about the lens cost. Like buy it and just lens. And yes, it does have some issues like not having open gate, because again, inherently it's a Z6 or Z9, basically recovered body with a firmware update. But compare that to Canon is a bit more expensive. So this goes to 186K, that goes to 299K. So it is genuinely expensive. But again, it's a much more oomfish body. Like body wise, like it's not even in the same ballpark. That body is built as a camera body. Meaning if you mounted, like you framed it up, mounted in a car body, that will be like, glitch, please don't try. If you put this on a gimbal, this will like, this will like, I got this. So there is a genuine benefit of not having IBIS, again, for certain crowd. And again, having cooling fan, meaning I can trust this puppy in Indian heat for much longer duration than I can trust this puppy. It does have open gate. That does, again, for a lot of content delivery guys, is like, shut up, give me open gate, the end. So that's also there. Or what about Sony? Well, Sony has yet to release an offering, and I am now getting scared and disappointed because again, I have finance sorted, so to say, hopefully. But if Sony releases something which is like, I'm very scared that it would be hyper underwhelming. It will like, oh, we have 40 megapixel, but you still do crop in 4K 60. I'm like genuinely scared. Like, what can they do like compared to these two? Especially this, because the price is too goddamn good. Like, too goddamn good. The only wow moment they can do is global shutter. And I do not think they're gonna give global shutter. So, but again, this is a very good thing. And Sony is saying tariff, which again, how the heck Nikon released something like this in lower tariff? How? Let that be a tariff simply means you have to make a decision. Either you pass the cost to the customer or you tighten your profit margin. If you are underdog in the market, you tighten your profit margin. That's why this has so low cost. Nikon may not be making money on it. Either. Like just grab the market right now. It's iron is hot, hit it right now. And Canon is also like, because again, compared to what Canon's own offering, there are other cameras in their R line, which is far more expensive than this. So tariff is not the reason. I think both of them realize it's like, it would be better to capture the market, because again, the market is only as good as lens selection. If people buy Canon lenses, they can't switch because lenses are expensive. So That's the whole point. It's interesting, but people are getting good choices. That's the ultimate benefit to us all. Like we now, I can see maybe in future 10, 15 years, other camera finally starts to give big length, monitors. And Blackmagic is the only company that confuses me. It's like they were the first, like, okay, 5-inch big display. I'm like, GG. Why does not it hinge out? Like you are making a camera for cinema people. They have a complete freedom floating monitor. Why you are locking it? Like they do not have a hinge patent or something. So it's a good system. It's a good time to be alive. You have a lot of options, but please, before jumping into any of this system, please select the lens you want, especially for that, because you have to make sure that it also has image stabilization. Otherwise, you will be shocked how bad it is. So it's a good time to be alive in camera world. Like after so long, it's like finally we have some good equipment. Maybe someday in future we'll have finally 32-bit using USB-C, but hey, one can hope. Global shutter for Sony? I don't think so. But again, if Sony did that, it would like bitch please. They will just bitch slip this. Like no. Especially at lower prices. Like whoa. So this was our presentation on basically the new cameras that are in the market, Canon C50. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst a friend. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show my assessment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free. And as always, thanks for watching.